Hello, this is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday the 13th of November and ending Friday the 18th of November 2016. Wow, this is options expiration week already. Is that even possible in November? That's amazing. The week after is Thanksgiving. Where has the year gone? All right, here's the dollar index daily chart. Obviously bounced up a bit on rising interest rates in the post-election. We've got a cup and handle formation here. We've got if I go to look at this, I got a projection mode that's 12 bars up on the seeker. That could be a 13 sell signal on Monday, after Monday, on the dollar index. That's interesting. So right when you're getting the cup and handle breakout over 9 months, you get a seeker 13 sell signal. Okay, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's look at the major indices and see where they're at. So the euro dollar obviously about to crack the new lows. See, if this one doesn't have anywhere near a count. So this, you would just say, yeah, short it if it breaks down. That's a major cup and handle breakdown. Doesn't have a count. It's just weird that the dollar index does. Pound dollar starts to climb back up post-election here in the U.S. As everybody goes, maybe we weren't so bad after all over here. Aussie dollar retreating. Pound yen heading back up. Never got to the 13 buy signal quite on the pound yen. Euro yen. Now that's a breakout over the last 2 months. That's interesting. That could break of the highs of the week could be very interesting on the euro yen. We're going to look at that actually. Maybe we'll trade that this week. Pound Swiss, not much there really. By the way, the pound Swiss had a 13 buy signal back here and it curled up and now it's approaching the green static trend line. So that 13 buy signal there worked. That's why you got to wonder about that dollar index 13 sell signal. Here's the New Zealand dollar pair, nothing there. All right, let's take a look at the intra-week action on the two major pairs at least. This is 30-minute candles. So you've got so high to low of the week is 500 pips. Unfortunately, there was an up and back of 300 pips overnight on election night as the euro got stronger when there was some uncertainty about the election after everybody was expecting one thing, and then came back when at least it didn't turn into a prolonged battle. Markets hate uncertainty. So overall, if you just wipe that out, a lot of people got messed up on that, both here and in the futures. If you ignore that, though, and just look at the real trading besides it, 1.1100 to 1.8500, 250 pips. It's improved range. Had some good trades this week. Let's look at the pound dollar. Not as pronounced on Tuesday night. Range for the week here is about 300 pips. Now that the election's out of the way and you would expect more volatility and we're getting a little bit more of it, we may go back to full size finally, get serious here again about Forex trading. We had an okay week, but I think it's time to get more serious. So we'll see a couple days. Might go back to full size in terms of our Forex trading. All right, let's look at the data that's coming out this week. Sunday, preliminary GDP out of Japan. We've got industrial production, fixed asset investment, retail sales out of China, revised industrial production out of Japan going into Monday. PPI out of Switzerland, industrial production out of Europe, retail sales out of New Zealand. We've got the monetary policy meeting minutes out of Australia. Europe, we've got German preliminary GDP, French final CPI, Australia, Governor Lowe speaks, Italian preliminary GDP. UK, we've got CPI, PPI, RPI. Again, they do all their inflationary numbers at once, which I like. Wish everybody would do that. I mean, that just makes sense if you think about it. Europe's got their flash gross domestic product and German zoo economic sentiment along with trade balance. That's a lot of data at 5 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. Wow. Core retail sales here in the U.S. and retail sales at 8:30 a.m. along with Empire State Manufacturing Index, import-export prices or import prices. Business inventories after that. We've got MI leading index out of Australia that night. Wage price index, new motor vehicle sales out of Australia. Going into Wednesday, unemployment rate out of the UK, zoo economic expectations out of Switzerland, manufacturing sales out of Canada, PPI out of the US, capacity utilization and industrial production out of the US, CB leading index out of the UK, housing market index out of the US, along with our crude oil inventories. That's the weekly number. We've got PPI out of New Zealand, unemployment rate out of Australia, along with the employment change, Italian trade balance out of Europe, retail sales out of the UK, CPI out of Europe, CAD, we got the foreign securities purchases out of Canada, building permits, CPI here in the US, that's one of our big three, so we'll be half size. Even if we go to full size, we'll be half size ahead of that Thursday morning. Philly Fed unemployment claims, that's the weekly number. Housing starts here in the US. Fed Chair Yellen testifying. Bank of Canada review, natty gas numbers, that's the weekly number. And then German PPI, current account out of Europe, Canada's got their CPI. We've got no major U.S. data on Friday. All right, so the big one's the CPI. The reality is that if there's volatility, it's post-election, and that's what we're going to see. We also have, other than options expiration, which is a single expiration, straightforward trading week. So hopefully some good volatility. Get back to work like we usually do. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. It's a good time of year to start trading Forex. Have a great